everybody. We are on the floor because today I'm going to do a books I have not read video, and I feel extremely foolish after pulling all of these off my bookshelves because holy crap, have I got a lot of books that I haven't read. I first saw Julie from Pages and Pens do this video, and I thought this is a really good idea to kind of prove to myself that you have a crap ton of books to read and you kind of need to get on that. So we are sat in front of my TBR shelf, which is right here. You can see my bookshelves back there in the background, and over there about is where I sit when I film videos, and my TBR shelf is right here. I am about to get my new bookshelf, which is going to go right there, which is going to officially be the TBR bookshelf. So I'll have all my books that I haven't read in one spot, so I can kind of like focus on those first. So let's just get into these extremely long video, shall we? Okay, so the first book that I have not read is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This was in an owl crate, and I have not read that, so that's gonna go right there. I also have Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This year I will be doing a Rainbow Rowell month, because I have like all the Rainbow Rowell books I've ever bought I have not read, so I'm gonna try and read all of them. And I know that this one ties into Fangirl, so I kind of want to read Fangirl first before I read this one, and also the sequel is coming out soon, so I need to really get on that. Then I have The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I tend to take dust jackets off before I read books, so the dust jacket is up there in that pile. I usually put the dust jackets back on once I put them back on my shelves. Then I have Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. Again, this was an owl crate that I have not gotten to yet. Then we have When Dimple Met Rishi by, I can never pronounce her last name. She also wrote From Twinkle with Love, which I read last year and I loved, so I went ahead and picked this up, and obviously never read it. I started it barely. So yeah, add that. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Again, I think I started this, I'm like 10 pages in, and I just never continued, which I should, because finale is getting ready to come out and I haven't read the second one. So many books, so little time. Then I have The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. I actually have seen the film. My roommate made me watch it, and I actually really liked it, but I should probably, again, I need to read this. I usually save reads like this for like October, November or so, because I like spooky reads around that time of year. Then I have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I read all of these when I was a kid, and then I found out that they were going to make them into a movie, and I was like, holy crap, I need to read these again. I freaking loved these. I think some of them may have scarred me for life, but who cares? Then I have Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. Again, it was another owl crate. I think my roommate did not read this. She didn't get to it before she moved. So yeah, the dust jacket again is in that pile up there. Then we have The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. This is the sequel to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, which I loved. It was like one of my favorite books of 2017, 2016. I don't remember when that book came out. I think it came out last year, didn't it? I don't know. I'll have to check my Goodreads again. But yeah, this is a sequel to it. I went ahead and picked this up like a month after it came out, and I never read it. So then I have My Plain Jane. Again, another owl crate exclusive that I never read, and the dust jacket is in that pile up there. Then we have Hemlock Grove by Brian McGreevy. Yes, this is the book that the Netflix original series is based on, which is why I picked this up. I started reading this. I don't know how far I got because I took my bookmark out, but yeah, I never got to this. Again, I'll be saving this for more like October spooky reads, so we'll get to that later in the year. Then we have Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. I don't remember what this is about. It's got the Eiffel Tower on it, so obviously it's set in Paris, and I love me some Paris fiction, anything like movie-wise. We got like a promotional nail polish or whatever, which is up there on my bookshelf in one of the out crates, and I was like, ooh, this is pretty. What's this book about? And I looked it up, and I was like, that sounds interesting. Then I bought it. Haven't read it yet. Now we have Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine. Again, another owl crate. We like just got this in January or December. I don't remember. But yeah, another owl crate exclusive that I never read. Are you sensing a trend? There's a trend here. We have The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I actually started this. I'm not very far in. Again, it was another owl crate exclusive that I have not read yet. Then I have Death Note, Another Note, The Los Angeles BB Murder Cases. I love Death Note. Anybody who knows me knows that I love Death Note. I started reading this. I'm not very far in. I'm like right there, so like almost 25-30% done with it. I like it because it's flocked, which unfortunately means it's covered in cat hair. So I will definitely have to lint roll this later. Then I have Elle Change the World, written by M. Again, another Death Note book. It's kind of like an AU type. And then I have Death Note Black Edition volumes 1 and 2. Again, I'm like not very far into it, which I don't know why. I should have finished this already, but I just haven't. So add that to the pile. Then I have They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I know this book has been out for like for freaking ever and I haven't read it, but again, there's a trend. I'm very, very behind on YA. So yeah, adding that. Then I have Ghostly Beacons, Haunted Lighthouses of North America by Therese Lanigan Schmidt. This is not my book. This is my stepdad's book. He bought it when we went to Florida this last time because we went to the Pensacola Lighthouse, which is supposedly haunted. We didn't climb the steps because obviously we'd be out of breath and be dead. So he went ahead and bought this and he lent it to me. And I've not read it at all because I'm lazy. Again, I'll be saving this for closer to October, like August, September, October, so I can give this back to him. Then I have Crimson Peak, the official movie novelization. I like nearly finished this and then I stopped and now I'm gonna have to go back and read the whole thing again. But yeah, Crimson Peak is one of my most favorite movies. I actually saw it the weekend it came out in theaters. I saw it like that Friday it came out. So yeah, it holds a special place in my heart and I love me some Tom Hiddleston. Then I have Supernatural Nevermore by Keith R.A. DiCandido. This is it's set in like season 1 or season 2, judging by how young Sam and Dean are. I love me Supernatural. I'm extremely far behind, but this is kind of like takes place like between episodes. And yeah, there's actually a whole series of this, but again, I got like halfway through and stopped. There's a trend. Then I have Horns by Joe Hill. This is the one that starred Daniel Radcliffe. And I never read it, so I never saw the film. But yeah, I like whenever there's a film or a musical or a play or anything, I like to go back to the source material. So I have a lot of things that are based on other things. Then I have Haunted Graveyards of the Ozarks by David E. Harkins, because I am from Arkansas and my family's from Missouri. So yeah, there's actually the Springfield Cemetery is in here and the one down in Fayetteville, and it talks about Prairie Ridge. Yeah, Prairie Ridge. No, Prairie Grove. No, I don't know. I'm not, I don't. It's one of the battlefields. That's all I know. One of the battlefields. Then I have Haunted Hotels because the Crescent Hotel here in Eureka Springs is haunted. I think it's actually on this list. And so is the Queen Mary, the ship. So yeah, I like to learn about haunted things. Would I ever stay in a haunted hotel or a haunted place? No. Hell no. Fuck no. No. Then I have Ghosts of Country Music. I just thought by Matthew L. Swain. Oh, this one's by Jamie Davis Whitmer and with Robert Whitmer. They're a husband and wife duo. So yeah, I just think it's interesting because I grew up on country music and I like haunted places. Then I have Hell House, Alison Rattle and Alison Vale, and Other True Hauntings from Around the World. And this is, again, it's about haunted places. Not very far in. It's got like Madame LaLaurie's house in New Orleans and a bunch of other places. And then I have The Complete Book of Ghosts, a fascinating exploration of the spirit world from apparitions to haunted places by Paul Rowland. I don't think, no, I have not started this. I've not read this at all. But yeah, again, I like haunted places, so add that. These three are part of a series, and that is The White Queen by Philippa Gregory, The Kingmaker's Daughter, which I started, by Philippa Gregory, and The Red Queen by Philippa Gregory. Now, these three books equal The White Queen, if you've seen the Starz original series. And the next one is The White Princess, which I do not have. I have the series and I've watched it. I also have The White Queen and I've watched it. I'm about to rewatch it. But yeah, we have all of those, which I should have read already. Then I have The Pregnancy Project, a memoir by Gabby Rodriguez. I'm thinking of unhauling this because I really don't want to read it. I watched the Lifetime original movie and now I just have no interest in reading this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and unhaul that. Then I have, this is another trend that you're going to find. Then I have A Night to Remember by Walter Lord. It's one of the most famous accounts of the sinking of the Titanic. If you've followed me for a little while, then you know about my fascination with the Titanic and really macabre, dark things. Would you stay? So, yeah. Then I have In Real Life, Love, Lies, and Identity in the Digital Age by Neve Schulman. This is it's about the host of Catfish and like his story, and like it talks about different situations in Catfish and like why catfish people. So yeah, I got this for Christmas and I started it, and guess what? I didn't finish it. So need to add that. Then we have Titanic, Voices from the Disaster by Deborah Hopkins. I found this in a flea market and I went ahead and purchased it because I love me some Titanic. That one actually shouldn't be in, did I read this? No. Then I have The Story of the Titanic by Henry Hurst. This actually came with a documentary series that I purchased, and I never read it. And then I have Missouri Caves in History and Legend by H. Dwight Weaver. Again, I purchased this because I went to Fantastic Caverns in Springfield one weekend with my stepdad, and I just wanted to know more about the caves in Missouri and the legends behind them because I like history and things like that. Then I have Binge by Tyler Oakley. Again, I got this for Christmas and I never read it, and now I kind of don't even want to. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and unhaul it because I don't think I'm ever going to read it. That was in the book. I don't know why. Then I have Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm like, how far am I in this book? I'm like 200 pages into Fellowship of the Ring. So yeah, I was stupid and I bought the whole bind up because it was like $10 at Walmart. So now I have this thing to tackle. I don't know why I haven't read the rest of this because I freaking love Lord of the Rings. Like, love it. Then I have, I'll pick that up later. Then I have 3 Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake. again, I bought this because it's like supposed to be like a really famous book in the booktube community. So I went ahead and purchased it and did not read it. And I have Nefret's Curse by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. This is a novella part of the House of Night series. Growing up, I was a huge fan of House of Night. I had all the books. I bought them as they came out. But then I I guess I kind of like grew out of them and stopped reading them. But I still love the novellas because they're usually like focused on like a central character. And I like that. I like little insights and stuff. Then I have Nyx in the House of Night, edited by PC Cast, and it's basically like a series of essays written by like other people, and it goes into like occult stuff and like inspiration behind some things in the series, and I started it and I didn't finish it. Then I have Jesus Through Pagan Eyes by Reverend Mark Townsend. Yeah, I'm not even really going to explain this here because it's not necessary, but like if it sounds interesting, you know, look it up. And yeah, I just don't want to discuss that here at this present moment. Then I have 2 Doctor Who novels that I bought in this lovely Barnes & Noble leather-bound bind-up, and that is The Silent Stars Go By and Touched by an Angel. I love me some Doctor Who. So, and I've heard that they have novels for them, so I was like, I need to read these. Then I have The Merciless by Daniel Vega. I read this when it first like came out, and I'd kind of say it's like a mix between like The Craft and Mean Girls. It kind of feels like that to me. But yeah, apparently like the series is done now, so I'm like, why haven't you read this? Then we have Catching Stars by Kayla Keenan. This was included in an Owl Crate. It was like one of our like bonus books from like an indie publisher. And I kept it because it's about witches, and I love things about witches. I love witches. Like, yes please. So, yeah, I never read it. So it's gonna go there. Then I have the Infernal Devices Clockwork Angel graphic novel. I never read it. Probably because I haven't finished Clockwork Angel, so I don't feel like reading this before I finish Clockwork Angel because it just doesn't make sense to me. And then I have Shadow Hunters and Myths, Discovering the Legends Behind the Mortal Instruments by Valerie Estelle Frankel. Again, it's one of these like series of essays about things that are in the House of Night. Not House of Night, oh my god. Shadowhunter Chronicles. I'm getting confused, all these books. Then I have the Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. I have the audiobook of this, but I'm one of those people who I like to have the audiobook playing while I have the physical book in my hand so I can like follow along and read along with it. So yeah, that's why I have this. And it's actually, I like the short stories. Like I've listened to all of them, but then I'm like, okay, I want to get the physical book and like do it again. So that's why I have that. Then I have Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. Self-explanatory, I just haven't read them. I've read nearly to the end of Clockwork Angel, but I don't remember where the hell I am, so I'll have to start over and read it all over again, which is fine. It's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. Then I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, and Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. See, this is why I'm going to do a Rainbow Rowell month, because I need to read these, especially Fangirl, because this girl sounds like me. And she's like hella relatable. And I have Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Dalera. I got like halfway through and then stopped. I thought this was a really interesting thing. Again, I read it because Stephen Chbosky, the author of the most wonderful and life-changing book, Perks of Being a Wallflower, blurbed it. So that's the purely only reason why I picked it up, because I was like, Stephen Chbosky is talking about it. I need to read this book. So it's gonna go there. And I have 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I don't think I'm ever going to read this, and I'm not going to watch the Netflix series, so I'm just going to go ahead and unhaul that. Then I have Me Before You by Jojo Myers. I started reading this purely because the movie was going to come out and it looked adorable, and I was like, yes, please, I need to read this. But now I just don't care. So again, gonna unhaul that. Then I have Nicholas Sparks, The Longest Ride. I bought the movie tie-in edition from Walmart because I freaking love this movie and it's amazing. And Scott Eastwood, whew, Lord, let's not go into that. But oh my God, I freaking love the movie. So I'm like, again, love the movie, gotta pick up the book. Then I have Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. Again, I picked this up because I love the movie and I was like, yes, gotta read the source material, please. So that's gonna go there. And then I have, oops, I didn't mean to grab that one. Grabbing things I shouldn't. I have Sherlock Holmes and the King's Evil and Other New Adventures of the Great Detective by Donald Thomas. Again, this is like somebody who likes Sherlock Holmes and basically like fanficked some short stories. So yeah, I got like 25% in and stopped reading. Then I have Darcy's Passions by Regina Jeffers. It's Pride and Prejudice retold through Darcy's eyes. And I love me some retellings. You should know this by now. So yeah, I just went ahead and picked it up because I love Pride and Prejudice. I love the miniseries. Colin Firth is my Darcy. I'm sorry for people who love the Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden movie Pride and Prejudice, but no, the miniseries is better. Just go watch that. Don't at me. So yeah, I picked that up. Then I have The Night Calls by David Pierre, I don't know. It's the dark beginnings of Sherlock Holmes, a novel featuring Arthur Conan Doyle. I am a huge Sherlockian. I love Sherlock. I love anything to do with like Victorian England. So actually, I don't think this was even mine. I think my roommate gave this to me because she was gonna unhaul it, and I was like, no, your girl loves Sherlock Holmes and Arthur Conan Doyle. I'll read that book. Then I have I, Ripper by Stephen Hunter. This, I believe, if I remember correctly, is a retelling of Jack the Ripper through Jack the Ripper's eyes. Again, yes please. I also love anything to do with Jack the Ripper. I'm fascinated by him. Then I have Roseblood by A.G. Howard. I picked this up purely because it's supposed to be retelling of Phantom of the Opera, and your girl loves Phantom of the Opera. So I definitely had to pick this up. Then we have The Beast Within by someone Valentino. I don't know. It's basically one of those like tie-in novels, like the Maleficent one, and I believe there's one for Ursula and the Evil Queen from Snow White. Like Disney is doing like a whole series of these. I've read the Maleficent one, freaking loved it. So when the live action Beauty and the Beast came out, I had to pick this up. Then I have Alice Through the Looking Glass. This is basically a novelization of the film, which I loved. So yeah, I just had to pick this up. I love movie novelizations because it goes into so much, you get so much more out of it because there's so much more detail you can put into a book than you can put into like a 2.5-hour movie. So yeah, when given the chance, I will buy a movie novelization every time. Then I have Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by Rick Riordan. I never read Percy Jackson because I feel like I'm a little too old to be into Percy Jackson and it just doesn't interest me. I love Greek mythology, but I don't know. I don't really know much about Norse mythology besides what I've read and what I've seen in the Thor movies, which is pretty sad. But yeah, I picked it up because I like grabbed it and I read like the first page and I was like, girl, yes. Then I have The Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz, a Descendants novel. I actually rather like the Descendants movies that Disney's doing now about like the children of villains from Disney movies. Again, like who wouldn't love that? And then I have Suicide Squad, the official movie novelization. I love Suicide Squad. Love me some Joker and Harley, even their relationship is extremely abusive and fucked up, but I still love them. So yeah, I picked that up. Again, movie novelizations. Oh my god, we're under our last stack. How many unread books do I have? We have The Other Tutors, Henry VIII's Mistresses and Bastards by Philippa Jones. Again, I really like Tudor history. I started this book. I don't know, I just find it extremely interesting. So, oh, hello, open my book to find a postcard of Niall Horan from when he was in One Direction. Wow, I don't even remember how I got that. I don't remember getting that. Okay. Then we have Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I'm planning on reading this, but I'm going to get the audiobook that's narrated by Jeremy Irons, who plays Humbert Humbert in the Lolita movie, because I love that man's voice, and to hear him read me Lolita, yes please. Then Then I have The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides, I don't know, I can't pronounce his last name. I picked this up because I like the film that it's based on, and it's actually really interesting because everything's told in like a different type of point of view. Is it third person? I don't know, second person. I don't know, it's one of those. It's interesting, like everything's like they, them, their, instead of like I, you, whatever. You get it. You get it. If you're a writer, you get it. I have A Separate Peace by John Knowles. I actually had to read this for a lit class, and I didn't read the whole book. I read till like 75% done, and then I stopped. So I really want to reread it and like, I guess, get out of it what I was supposed to in school, but I didn't. Then I have Robert Frost Selected Poems. I think he's the one that wrote, is it like The Road Less Traveled or something like that? I think it's Robert Frost. I don't know, I like poetry. I'm one of those weird people. I have the Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Orczycki. I picked this up because I was friends with a girl on Tumblr who loved classics and was like, here's a list of classics that people need to read. So I picked it up and I was like, okay, well, we'll try this. I have Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James, which is like a somewhat sequel to Pride and Prejudice. I'm not quite sure if I'm ever going to read this. I probably will, but I'm not sure. And I have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I love the BBC miniseries that they did with Richard Armitage, which is the only reason why I picked this up. And plus I need to read more classics. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I loved the film with Mia, whatever her last name is, I can't pronounce it. So I thought I would read that. I have Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. This is the first in the Hannibal series, like the Hannibal Lecter. So there's Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, I believe, is second. And third, I think, is like Hannibal Rising or whatever. I don't know. It's like a whole series. And I love the TV show Hannibal with is it Mads Mikkelsen? Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. Love it. If you're part of Amazon Prime, you can go watch that right now. I highly recommend it. Then I have Darkly Dreaming Dexter by Jeff Lindsay. I freaking love Dexter. I'm rewatching it for like the 3rd or 4th time again. So this is the book that the TV show is based on. I don't remember how far. Oh, I was almost done. I was almost done with it and I stopped, and I'll have to restart it. Then we have American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Again, I bought this because I love the film. And then I have High Rise by J.G. Ballard. Again, I bought this because the film was coming out, and I actually have the audiobook, which is narrated by Tom Hiddleston, who plays the main character in this film. So, yeah, I'm going to go and count all these, and you guys will find out how many books I have not read at the end of this video. Talk to you guys later. Bye! Hey guys, so it's future me. I forgot that I left some books out. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw these in. We have The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I don't know, I can't pronounce this. Again, this came in an Owl Crate like last month and I haven't read it. We have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. The White Stag by Cara Barbiri. If you watched my January TBR, then you know that these 3 were on my January TBR, so that's why they're not read yet. I have Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare, which I decided that I'm not going to unhaul these, so I'm actually going to read these so they get added to the total. And then we have the new Owl Crate book that came this month, and that is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palprito or whatever. Yeah, so I'm gonna go I'm gonna add these books in, and you guys will find out how many books I have left to read. So, yeah. See you guys later. Bye.